order?
I got photo off at the library at 10:30, I can do after that.
Somebody's not go after one.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's what Stacy knowing that.
Alright, before I get to order, here's no stand for clerk. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
A little further since one, but a little light today, but we got enough. Everybody look at the last month's meeting at minutes? How are they doing it down the first? Oh, that's right, yeah, four, skipping down one. I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second it. The minutes were beautiful.
Y'all want to go through that? When I read through them, vote on the agenda though. Yep. So approval for the April 25 meeting minutes?
So moved.
Alright, the financial report.
Who was the second you were about?
I was, yes. Okay, yep. First thing for the financial report is I noticed that the checking account is really high because that's the roll into the checking account. I think that you guys in your meeting talked about putting in the savings account, but you want to do that for we just do that transfer and approve that transfer.
Two of it passed.
Okay, two of them.
No.
So I think it was 153 something odd like that with the assistant. So you'll want to get a couple people to approve moving that back into that. I think that savings account. We made the motion last month. Probably just yeah, I'm pretty sure it was earlier. So we just need to do it. Because we don't need that much in the checking account right now anyway.
I can do it Friday. How much are we moving to savings?
It's whatever it would be on the fund here. It's $153,036.96. And you know, like I said, I don't really need that in there. Checking account. That, but yeah. And then this was your deposit. The Lane County deposit. So we did the check to the golf course. Other than that, and the bill account
is it just the check to Chris, or is he the only one that?
He's the only one currently that's on the payroll, yeah.
Well.
So, I guess the pool opens up and Josh no matter getting your applications back and that stuff. Okay. I know Marty gave me some applications today for I'll drop it up to you. I know she's been doing it a hard time, so I'll continue to them with him. I did want to ask you one question though. You opened that the account for the fall program in the pool donation. Yeah. So then you rolled it for the pool donation when you rolled 30 into there, and it's a whole account open at the end. Correct. But then there was another deposit of like around $20. You know what that was for? Was that from which account was that going to? It was like 19 something went into that pool account. And that was where the one of the donations, that was the first. Yeah, is there a
I thought that's probably what it was, but I just wanted to make sure that nothing got messed up and so I knew where it came from.
That being said, have you started seeing, you've been seeing all the transactions come through for the baseball stuff?
There was quite a decent amount in April and early May for the rest of the investigation account.
Is it coming across all right, or is there any issues with it, or is it kind of, I mean, everything's going the right account, correct?
I'm assuming so. It looks like the majority of them are going into that ball program account. I guess the only one to that, the pool one was the $30 transfer and then that one deposit. Other than that, I guess I don't really have a whole lot more than that, unless you guys have questions on it.
I still got a couple of purchases I've been doing.
I saw that there's a couple on the credit cards that went through on, I'm assuming that was all ball program stuff.
Correct. I only got a couple more to do. I bought one thing. The next one, I went from measurements from Marley about keeping the freezer down there and plugging it in off to do whatever it is. And once you get measurements, I'll get one of those. I couldn't pass. I guess it's been swinging back and forth.
Yes.
So.
She wants room enough for hot dogs and they sell those long freezy pots. And I looked into those freezers. I was going to talk to you about it tonight. And we definitely could get a small enough one to fit and a large enough one for what you need.
Does plugging and unplugging those things for such a long period of time shorten their lifespan? I think I just heard that.
The hardest thing is, I'm guessing, you're talking to keep the freezer down in
Correct, yeah.
in the concession?
Yes,
Inside.
in the
Inside?
concession,
Okay.
yeah.
When it's cold, it's hard on them, I know that.
They would just take it out of there, because it's a real little unit. It could go to my basement.
It would probably be better for it to be able to be in some place rather than just
In something with a little bit of climate control.
Okay.
Because I have,
Because it's
gotcha.
hard on them.
Yeah, maybe
It's
I
not cold.
when we get one of these either portable or something, because I'm kind of like waiting for measurements right now from Marley and stuff. But, okay. Yeah, you're gonna have a couple more things come across your board as far as buying. It should start thinning out. We're gonna have some purchases pretty soon with uniforms, etc. So
the biggest thing for me on that is just going to be, if it gets to a point where the card's being used for both pool and park, being able to keep that stuff separate and we keep those expenses separate. So that's where it's really going to be important that if it's getting used for those things, getting receipts so I know what the code of what.
as of right now, everything on the card that's been given to me has been nothing but baseball and ball program. I don't know if your number is your number different from mine, or do you think we should another card to maybe kind of
It might be a better option to have a specific pool card and a specific parks card, and that way it's easier to do that, because if you're running them together, people are going to have to get your receipts with marked on there what it was for.
Okay.
I'm assuming the numbers are different.
You go?
Gotta be.
It depends on whether they're separated one or two.
It just says mine just says wash and purple result.
Yeah, mine only says Western Park Board, but
What's the last
is,
one?
Well, the numbers would be different.
Oh, it would be?
It could be, if they're different cards.
But you're not gonna see that.
Right. It depends on, it's really how they set up the statement, and I think you can request that the different cards, either that or you can request different cards on the same.
The numbers are the same?
Everything's the same. Yep. But it's because I'm the script and stuff like that.
So yeah, you might be better getting a separate, asking for separate cards and having them both, because I know that like the golf course does it that way. You have different accounts with different people's names on the cards, so I know, and it'll separate them out by the names on the card. But if you got one that said, Washburn Pool and one that said Washburn Park, then that way you kind of separate that out. You'll still be on the same statement, but.
Okay.
I was pretty much the shopper last year for the pool. So that's why I have a card more than anything. Would you like to have a card instead of me?
I feel like ever since I went in town, we could charge it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I think the bigger use for the card is more going to be like when you go to either Costco or Walmart or something like that.
Okay, yeah, and that's,
and if I'm running the business to go to Walmart, Costco, I can call you and come get it, Yeah, I don't really know that I use.
Yeah, I think it's probably better for it being a board member and myself.
Okay.
okay.
Sounds good.
Well, I will really push it in.
And Like, you're not doing the Kelly going, it's Kelly too.
Oh, sure.
I'll make a motion to approve the financial.
I'll second it. Next is a pool project plan,
And we'll just,
table that?
yeah, because we were hoping to have a meeting
Yeah.
before this, but it didn't work out, so.
I will,
So it's 7 and 8, we'll just skip over for right now.
I'll make a motion to, table number 7, number 8, the pool project loans and, plan itself.
Can I just ask a quick question? I was in complete awe of a pool project loan. Why would we do that?
Because we have to have
Well,
money.
that's what we were gonna talk about at our meeting, but we didn't have it before this, so we could bring it to this. It's just an option that we're looking at.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
I don't know if we need a motion to fix this table.
To table something?
I don't think so.
No, we don't have to?
I don't think so.
We'll table it. Alright, moving down, number 9.
Same thing with, table that one.
Donation jar to local businesses.
I have jars all ready to go, but I need whatever is the little,
The QR code?
the QR code
Okay.
set, and I need,
I can send you the QR code.
There's some sort of statement or something on it.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do like pennies for school or something.
Right, there's probably a description of something that tells you what it's for.
Do you have something yet? Can you remember the QR code?
you know what? I really think we should adopt it.
Well, that's what it's gonna be for. I
Okay,
just wondered if anybody wanted anything changed.
Looks good to me.
I just think they're beautiful.
Have that logo made.
Cool.
He was kind of wanting like kind of a rendering kind of thing of what it could look like, and like I don't know that we're really gonna get that. I said, so just make something look good. I know he's good at what he does.
You know what?
When he
I
sent me
think
that, it
this
was,
wrapped around the jar would be terrific, and I actually copied this right here, but
And
I don't
he'll,
wanna do that till you tell me I
once
can.
I'll tell him that everything's good, and then he'll send me the actual file,
Okay,
and then I can get it to you, and then we can use it for printing it out and whatnot.
yeah.
You still check your email quite a bit then, Judy? I'll send you the QR code, or if you want to,
Yeah, you can send me the
Okay.
QR code.
and then either put them together, keep it short, sweet.
Would you email it to me also?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yeah.
do you have my email?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So just kind of wait on a couple of small things before you finish that donation jar, huh?
Yeah, I just was waiting for this meeting to kind of, say I need the QR code and what do you want?
All right, moving number 10, 4 minute update.
Just so you have the full portfolio?
Yes.
Okay, I was double checking that. Okay, so I have lots of stuff.
Perfect.
Okay, so last year we did a student allowance for the kids. I'm wondering if we're gonna do that again.
Yeah.
We did $75 last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah, sorry. $75 last year, I think was what we did for each one, and that was enough to get them about 2 swimming suits.
Is that enough, or is
I
that
feel like it's enough, yeah.
I
And if
think
they
probably
wanted
nothing
more,
where
they
kids are thinking it's not, they're spending way more than,
Right,
but
right.
it seems like everybody was able to get what they wanted to.
I feel like everybody's pretty much able to get 2 swimming suits with that, and I told them, and I don't know how you guys feel about this either, I guess I should ask, but I told them it's not required that they wear lifeguard swimming suits, but that's never been a requirement. We could make it one, but then I feel like maybe they need more of an allowance, because if they're working, 5 days a week, maybe 2 swimming suits is not enough. But I've just always told them as long as you could appropriate it, it doesn't have to be a lifeguard swimming suit, so.
We'll recommendation.
Right, like if you have one clean, wear it. If you don't,
Was it,
wear an appropriate swimming suit. Because even the lifeguard ones they get are like, they can get the feet. It's not like.
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
well, I
Yeah,
was
it's
just
not
wondering,
like-
like, do you want them to stick out as like, so people know these are the lights?
Right, and yeah, that's kind of why I tell them, like, I prefer if you do wear it.
Right.
And most of the time they do, because they don't, wanna get their own food, just wanna.
Really?
Do you prefer them to have their own, buy their own, or would you maybe look at buying their, asking their sizes and just buying one whole
No,
box?
I prefer them to buy their own, because I just feel like it's so much easier, because there's so many styles,
Yeah,
and
right.
sizes run so different, and that way, like, they can even order them on Amazon, and so that way, if they order when it doesn't fit, they can send it back and deal with that instead of me having to go through that whole process and do it. So that's why I prefer doing the allowance. And then, like last year, I just said, order up to $75, if it's over that, then you guys pay the extra, but then bring the receipts to Paul and he'll reimburse you. So that's how they did it last year.
I think that works, don't you?
No, yeah, it always seems to work.
Okay, perfect. So we're gonna leave it at $75?
Yep.
Okay, hours, last year we did Monday through Friday, 12 to 8. Saturday and Sunday we did 12 to 6. How we feel about that? Everybody good with that?
You sure you don't have enough people to be able to man those?
But if they all pass, I have, I think it's 11 lifeguards.
That's more than the tax, the town of
That's right.
Bismarck has.
Yeah,
Okay.
You know
Yeah.
that?
so I think that'll be good.
We have more lifeguards than Bismarck has for their whole town. But they don't have the Legion. And the Legion a few years ago, it tapped in so that they could have a better wage,
Yeah,
and it's paid off. We just don't have trouble with
yeah,
kids coming to work, do we?
right, yeah. So I think there's still like 5 of them that are doing doing their test at the end of May, so.
Question for you too.
Yeah.
Are you still gonna have those, the end of the day, maybe have an hour for adults, or, could you not do that in the past, you'll have?
We started it at the beginning of the year 2 years ago,
Okay.
and nobody ever showed up.
Yeah, okay.
And so then we kind of canceled it towards the end of that summer, and then last summer we never did it.
Okay.
And nobody ever really said anything.
I didn't know if there was a, so you, okay.
Yeah.
No worries, whatever your thoughts are, we'll go with that.
So, because then we were like turning away, people with kids,
Yeah.
and then there would be no adults there.
Yeah.
And then, so, and we, like I said, we didn't have any issues. And then also since now we have that last rain, like most of the people who wanted to swim last adults, they were like, I don't care if it's this. So it still worked out fine.
Well, when they did have ladies, grown-up night,
Adult night.
women and men came a lot,
Yeah,
but that group just never came back.
yeah, it never, when I was there, it never really took off, so. The rock wall.
I want that plan.
Yeah, we do, was that something that those associations guys could look at it and tell you, like, if it's get replacement parts for it, because I know there's some of those that need to be replaced, right?
Yeah, so I actually looked, I think Associated had told me, I think I had asked them, they told me that you had to call like the manufacturer, I don't remember what's the name on the hot wall or something or other. And so I found their website and I called in and it was like, you got 6 of the rocks and then the hardware that's thrown in, it was like $300 for 6 of those. So I was like, I think,
Didn't we think, maybe get rid of that wall to the same time, or?
well, right, so I,
Does it get used a lot?
Oh, yeah.
it does. So I really
It
was
was really good if it was good.
Yeah, exactly. I imagine it works.
Because of this is good.
And we talked about last year actually taking it down
Yeah.
and tighten everything up and maybe
Yeah.
adjust them, but it's really hard to take it down
Well,
apparently.
it's gonna be even harder now with the pole for that.
Right, and that was another issue, yeah. And so then last year, like, we did our best to try, like, Jake would climb up on the one side and then I was on a ladder on the other side trying to tighten them.
So it's just not, is that a problem?
Yeah, right.
And they're like really, rigid.
Yeah. So, I don't know, I just,
The $300 for those replacement parts is a lot cheaper than a new $20,000 rock wall. So
yeah, that's
So
true.
that,
I feel like if we're gonna do
figure out how
that,
many
though,
we need.
okay. Because if we're gonna do that, then we for sure have to take it down to put them up.
Do we have a lot of the other backside or no?
I don't know how it works.
I was swimming up there.
I was
It was going all like ultra
So,
approved.
I I wouldn't recommend.
But I think it would
Right.
be used a lot more, and kids would probably like it a lot more if those things were fixed.
Yeah, yeah, because a lot of kids do really use it, so I really hate to get rid of it, but I think it does definitely need to be fixed and,
And that'd be the short term compared to long term, we're gonna get rid of, we're getting rid of the cars, right? That was understanding, or no,
eventually,
eventually.
I don't know.
I mean, if we can
If you could fix
We
it
can
the way
get
it
it
was
fixed
working,
up, but
it would be necessary.
I just don't think it's the, I think all of those, because when I've looked at it, like that, whatever kind of material, plasticky material that it is, like really rough, like I have a fear of a kid grabbing it or slipping, and they're gonna either cut their hand open or their foot open.
Just smack their head on it, or,
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean, yeah, I tried to do it, and they move, because they're not tight, and then they're so rigid and rough,
you
on
want
the
to see
top.
what they offer, if they offer other options as far as replacement parts,
Yeah.
that would be not like it.
Right,
to look
Is
at.
there anything in that book?
Do you know how many there are on that entire wall?
oh no, I don't know, yeah. The book that called, oh, I don't know if there is something like that in here, because I think that's like a specific company that makes those.
I'll pull up if you wanna just, I guess, I mean, when you need it,
Is there app working on your phone?
No, I've never got it to work. I just haven't had time to find it.
Well, because I have winter on mine. I went and looked the other day because Krista said I'm gonna work on the pool. And so I thought, oh, I don't look at it in April, you know, maybe I would, but I didn't. And it was snowing.
No, I'll look at it.
Does your camera app? Yeah, I just tried to pull mine up the other day too, and it was,
Snow?
yeah, it wasn't working.
Okay, I'll call
Something needs to be reset or something. maybe.
West River, yeah.
Right,
I'll call West River.
okay, so, Rockwall, we will, hopefully,
Definitely we need it,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
But, yeah.
Well, it definitely, like I said, you might see it fixed, because it's been pretty much like that since we got it up. So, it's been like 3 years.
Well, I know we got it used, and so it probably didn't have all the features to begin with. Okay, alright, sounds good. Opening date.
When do you say it can be open?
How much stuff needs to be done before it's healed?
Well, yeah, that's,
When the water's on,
okay. Has he, well, I thought he brings, like, part
I know he was pressure washing it at some point.
Oh, he was, okay,
That's what he said, yeah.
okay.
That's before it's in that.
Mhm. Well, and
So
that's,
do we have to call Associated, and then do they come and start everything up?
yeah, we have to call Associated, and
Once
we have
we get
to
it
call, Hawkins, and let them know for chemicals.
Okay.
They exactly just texted me the other day and asked when we have it filled so that we can start bringing it.
Because we clean it, we fill it,
Mm-hmm.
and then Associated comes, starts everything up, and then Hawkins gets the chemical.
These are Associated kind of, I don't know if
I don't
they do
think
for
they
sure
do.
this spring.
Okay. I didn't.
I also feel like maybe they don't, they come in the fall, I don't think they come in the spring.
I don't think they do
Yeah.
either.
Yeah, I think last year Chris pretty much got everything going he could, and then when we didn't know, I think Adam came over and
knows.
helped. Yeah,
Adam
that's
knows.
what it was,
Yeah.
Adam came over and helped them,
Yeah.
so, yeah, I don't think they have to come up, but we do have to let Hawkins know. So,
But if something isn't right, we can definitely call Associated, but I don't
Right.
think they have to be part of it. They would have started.
right,
Want it open Riverboat Day this weekend, or is that too hard with lifeguards wanting to do
yeah,
activities that go on
Right.
with Riverboat Day?
that was kind of my question, like, I know that had been
Like,
kind of a
would it-
goal before, but then,
Would it actually be used much during Riverboat Day?
It is. And you know what? If the families who use the pool has the kids that want their grandchildren at that pool, that want it open over Riverboat Day.
Well, it might not be a bad thing, because if you're gonna do the whole float thing with the handouts and everything else, but you might have more people wanting to come over and take a look at it.
yeah,
So
Or feel.
I suppose
that'd be the whole
probably
people.
want it,
That,
you know, like the week before then, so you
That's
can get
the
it,
cool
get
stuff,
the
that's-
bugs and
yeah,
everything worked out of it,
so,
so.
the biggest thing is like when you can get it heated, because depending on the weather, how long it takes to get it heated, and then the chemical test. we have to pass them. Like last year, we didn't pass the first one, so then we have to start school. And you have to wait a couple days because the mercury is too high, and so then until it comes back down, and then you test again, and then it takes another day for them to do the testing back. So, I mean, we can set a goal, but there can't be any guarantee.
And I'll be the runner again. I'll be the runner
Okay.
again for that.
The Hippo days is what, 6, 7?
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably, try to get it filled sometime next week, then.
Well, it needs to be sooner than later.
I thought Chris said he was filling it.
And when I was there, it was so filthy dirty on the weekend. And when he gets that empty, we have to manually go clean out the gutter or the drains because they are full of gunk. And I think that plays a big part in us being better on our water testing, if we can get all that gunk out of the drains and stuff. Because otherwise, that's just that much more the chemical has to try to fill.
You want me to
So he needs to let me know,
I'll talk to him.
yeah, he needs to let me know like when he has all of the water out so that we can start, can get a few kids to come down and help.
Have you guys, started yet, what doing things?
No, nobody has started yet, so we'll have to get, and so that's another thing on here, we gotta get the drug testing set up before he gets started, right? But now we'll have to do that.
Everything's good to go.
It's set up, okay.
Yeah, it's the active from last year, so.
Oh, okay.
As soon as they go up there, they're good to go. I mean,
Which clinic is it?
The one on border.
Thank you.
I think it's not the farthest east one, so
Is it the one right beside the bank, or is it the one?
Is it the actual Watson clinic?
No, it's one down from the bank.
in Alexis?
It's one down from the bank. There's
actual Watson?
Washburn Clinic and then
it's the one.
and Washburn Family Clinic is one more, and that's the one.
Which is one country town actually?
That's the one right closest to the bank.
Okay, that's not that one, because that's the one we took kids to, and I went, oh, you're ready for, drug testing? No, it's not that one, so it's, the one,
So it's focus then.
okay.
Okay, so it's the one where focus is in. Okay.
It's focused, it's,
The
Okay.
old one, the
Okay.
ones that, yeah.
yeah, that's right.
Okay, so they need to go and do that. And then they all need to come and see you. The CWT, so 4, 2.
One of
So
those.
do you just wanna say opening, like, try to have opening day of the first week of June? Just to make sure everything's good before, Riverboat Day?
Yeah.
Or maybe not open, but have everything.
June second is a
We
Monday.
could say, like Thursday, the 5th. Before Riverboat Day,
Yeah, that's what I think, like that Wednesday or Thursday, maybe shoot for that.
try to have it filled next week. try to get
Although-
everything-
So, it's still next week. So if we take, okay, so the water sample or the water testing, I believe you can only take them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
So
So,
if we could have it filled, get chemicals in it, do the water test like 26th, 27th, or 28th.
right, I was gonna say, I don't know if they're open the 26th or the Memorial Day, but
Oh, yeah,
27th,
27th or 28th.
28th, get testing, yeah. And
The
then,
27th, you said water testing
yeah,
can go to 27th?
okay.
And you know, that's the ideal thing, but then, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Is that realistic or is that doing business?
I don't know. I don't really know how long it's gonna take to heat, like if we have 50 now for the next
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks, it could take, not that it has to be
Yeah, but we-
85 when we open,
We
I
put
mean,
a cover on it.
right, we keep it covered, yeah, we do usually,
Yeah.
once we, yeah. Get the chemicals and stuff in there, but,
We had some water warmer days.
I think it could be, I know, I think it could be doable. I think as long as, because then if that doesn't pass, and then you take the test up the following Monday, which would be like the 2nd, then we should find out about that, like, that Tuesday, I think it's the next day, maybe that's how long.
It is,
It is the next day, so then we would, if that, the first one had passed and the second one passed, then we would be able to open the 4th or the 5th there.
You're also probably going to have to maybe have some sort of like a special meeting or something if you're talking about fixing that rock wall before it's open.
Mhm.
That rock wall,
Depending on the cost of
you know what,
Depends on how quickly you get up to it.
Yeah, right.
Maybe I'll run over after the meeting and see how many roughly would need.
Okay, and so here's actually the other problem I'm glad I was in my calendar. So I am at a class, a training, June 4th and 5th in this month. So, like, you really can't open those days. Well, I don't know. I mean, you could open those days, but I won't be there.
You have, who's like who's under you?
Dave said he, for sure, comes out and heard from him. He said he was coming there. Guy. Yeah. So he was the head by for the last couple of years, I think. Yeah.
and he's sophomore in college.
So yeah, he knows what he's doing. So it's
Open up to the day and
right, do all the chemicals and stuff like that. So.
he won't be here.
He will be.
If he's going to Guatemala, yeah, he won't be here.
Cause they're leaving the 31st, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, and so then.
No, I think they go to the 8th.
No, because Lexi's
No, I
not
think
gonna be here for the softball tournament, he said, because they're going to Guatemala.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it is
That's what he
earlier
said
than
in
that.
there, so.
Yep.
Well, that's the 8th, that's at next weekend, yeah.
So, but if we say the 6th, that Friday, I mean, you could potentially open that Friday, because I don't think there's anything really for riverboat days until later, is there?
Tuesday, Friday after.
But it's not like big,
No.
where maybe that would be okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Okay, so the float, is there a budget? Is there any ideas? Do you have any guidance on that, or is that all?
Unlimited.
Unlimited, okay.
Just put the rock wall on it.
Yeah, right. I have a box of float material, you know, that plasticky stuff. And I think it's down at the senior center. And I actually have a key to get in there. I was running go look, just to get it here.
Okay.
You don't need it.
Okay. I might
Just
have,
take the banner of the,
Yeah.
and then have everybody in their lifeguard.
yeah, there you go, there you go.
Please, like to have one done. I don't know how long it takes them.
Yeah. That'd be great if we
Like
could
an
do a
action
banner
tomorrow.
like that. I mean, not that we can't still do other things to it, but that would be.
That would be great.
I don't
And you
think
know what? T-shirts like
Yeah.
that would be great.
Yeah, that's probably not gonna happen.
Exactly.
I can see, I can ask him. I don't know how quick, or, how booked out he is for stuff.
Are we going to have something for them to like hand out them, like some cards with the QR code or?
That's what we
On
talked
one of
about,
the other ones that we just talked about, yeah. Could probably have like,
candy or some,
maybe some like inflatable beach balls or.
yeah.
Yeah, but even,
Inflatable
you can
floaties,
just those
arm
small,
floaties,
yep,
stuff related to the pool.
right, yep.
We're gonna just fill those out. Okay.
If you pop like every other float in the hole.
Oh my God, I hate when people hand out those big grapes and then they
No.
get everywhere.
You think a few $100 would be good to cover all that stuff, or, all these and all that kind of stuff? I mean, what a budget would be for a float.
Right, I know, that's, I mean, I think if you went to like a Oriental Trading and ordered something like that, you
You
could
just
just
fill them away and
book
book
them.
Time, that's
Please.
the other side.
Yeah, it comes
Yeah.
pretty fast.
Does it come fast?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I've never ordered from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want me to look for that?
Do if you don't mind, and then we can see.
Okay, I am going to be in, I'm not gonna be able to do this until Friday.
Okay,
So,
yeah, that's fine. Okay, thinking, I was kinda, again, I was kinda hoping Chris would be there, I'm curious what the inside of the pool really looks like. if it's gonna be okay. I mean, there's so many paint chips that we were trying to vacuum up last year, but I don't know if changing it would do any good anyways, it's probably just slip off.
It is what it is.
Yeah, just have to deal with it.
Yeah.
There might be some changing that needs to happen in some of in the changing rooms. I don't think we did the girls the last couple of years. So if we need change, I think pool paint, I think we can get it from Associated probably. Kids who haven't passed their lifeguarding test, are they okay to start working even if they haven't passed it? I mean, not lifeguard, but like just start help cleaning and
Yeah,
stuff like that, that's okay.
Yeah.
If they don't pass their test, then they just get paid for those hours.
yeah,
Okay.
that's it, yeah.
We talked about last year getting a new garbage can for out front. Yeah, that one was broken, and then Chris just brought that big white barrel, which is fine, but I just was gonna see if that's what we're gonna stick with, or if we were gonna get something.
I think you should get what would be appropriate. Do you mind trying to find one? Because I don't want to do what, I don't want to get it for you. You get what you want.
Okay.
Well,
It needs to be, I feel like it needs to be something that's like pretty heavy duty, so it doesn't blow away. And then, I don't know, like, do you want something that has a cover on it? Or not? I mean, just that's not blowing out.
yeah, and you know what about it is, I think maybe like Amazon. You want my credit card to get
Could
it?
we
Well,
get
I'll see what
like a circle sanitation that comes every, we just have to make sure that's set out.
well, we've always just put our garbage into the dumpster at the Memorial Hall, like they've let us do that.
Yeah,
That Memorial Hall. So I don't know if we necessarily need like a
Okay,
dumpster service,
just something.
but like, you know, a lot of people like picnic at that park and stuff, and then the garbage can wasn't working, and then they just throw their trash, or they sit it on top, which of course then they blow away, and
yeah, let's
Yeah,
get
that's
it,
something
let's get
a
it.
little heavier.
And even if you think we need two, get two. We just put big bags in them
and I think Chris or whoever worked with Chris, his daughter or whatever, came and emptied them, but I think last year he said they wouldn't do the one in front of the pool. We had to do it, even though they were there doing the one at the park. But whatever, that's fine.
That's what we're going to do for the street.
That's what I was talking about.
They have extras of that. That's what
Oh.
we're going to do the one in front of the museum.
But, you gotta try to lift that.
Right, to dump it.
Yeah.
So they have a door and you open it up and pull the garbage can out. And you put those in it and it locks.
One that's done, don't have their own box.
yeah.
Okay, sorry, okay,
No,
so
you're
one more thing then, okay, the lap lane, right now, we have it like in the middle of the pool basically, and that's kind of been an issue because kids want to swim from hour into the weekend, and we constantly like, can't go do this,
And throw on the football and.
right, and so like, to me, it would make more sense to have the lap lane like all the way on this side of the pool, so that then, that whole
That's
area.
where it was. Wait, not on the side there, everybody sits along, but across, that was, that was,
The side of the office.
Correct.
no,
Yeah, no, like it.
Oh, you
But
would.
that's not where it was. What?
You got the basketball hoop there. We're all-
But that's portable. We could put that around the other side.
The other side, that other side, like when you come out, with up by where the slides are at, that side over there would be more out of the way and not in the middle of everything.
So that's over?
You know, for where the swimming is.
No.
Like, okay, so this side, like, so the pool.
But then they'd be swimming into where the slide is.
But does the slide come out that close to the wall, like you
Yeah.
just had it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's only like, I mean, you don't have that much.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that close to the wall.
But I feel like there's all the way on this side of the pool, like the office side of the pool. Okay, but then there's a loop on the, like, parking lot side to hook up the rope, but there is not a loop in the concrete on this side of the pool.
well, we'll get a loop.
So we need to get a loop on that.
Who can get it, who can do the loop?
Oh, you're doing concrete, right?
Yeah, there's like the hole there, but there's not the metal.
Well,
No. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and sorry, one more thing I just thought of that. We have to figure out something for the handicap here.
Well,
The ramp won't work. It would have to basically be the whole length of the pool to get the right angle.
well,
It has to, because our sides are so high.
Yeah.
And you can't just have it be like, you know, it's your pool. We know they
I
actually,
thought we decided to get a new lift, but get the portable one that we could keep inside.
okay, I didn't know if we had
Cause I
ever
just
decided.
am working on, that's gonna go through Choice West.
Oh, okay, perfect, okay, yeah, I couldn't remember if we decided or what we decided, and so, okay, sounds good. Perfect, and that's all I have for now. That's all, just those 4 things.
All right, I guess moving on to number 11.
Oh, okay.
What did I say?
Yeah.
I think I tabled those, because we don't have anything down.
No, I have stuff,
Okay, sorry.
but we'll just,
Yeah, we'll move to number
come up with
Turn.
number 14.
We don't want you to be fast.
well, I'm not gonna take as much time.
I know. You know what? We just can't get rid of her.
She's a good girl, hang on.
She is a good girl, yeah.
The only thing I've got nothing to do with the park board unless, the park, unless you wanna ask me something. No, you didn't. Good. Is, we have, some raised gardens out there in the parking lot of the memorial building. And there's gonna be 2 more that are gonna be finished. And, the Legion got them built by the 4-H for the garden, wherever that's going to be. I think up at the Moyes up there.
It is.
Or,
Now, it really needs to get done, and I don't know if Chris is gonna be able to do that. I don't know if Chris is gonna hire somebody else. We better talk to Chris.
For what?
To put the raised beds. We have a community garden
Yep.
that needs to be tilled and ready to go, and he just hasn't had time. But, you know, we didn't have weather until a week ago, you know. So he's got a lot of the mowing done, I'll tell you. The mowing is done well, but I don't know if he's gonna get.
well, we can help too, you just let us know. Let
Okay.
me know, I'll do it. But let me know what to do, where you want it, so that you don't lose it now.
Is that going across the highway? Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, you're saying, you don't know what to do. We don't know what to do with them. I think you're the one that'll just know where we should put them and why we should put them and what we should do with them.
Yep, I could set it up. I would like to get some black dirt. Is that big old pile back there, is that all black dirt or what is that?
On the other lot over there?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a city's lot. Or is that, look at that, the city. Okay, because that's been sitting there forever.
Is it topsoil?
It is.
Topsoil?
They told me it was topsoil.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we don't need it a little bit. And these are just for trial. If we don't like these, or we need them made different, bigger, heavy duty, or deeper, or whatever. It's just a
You
trial.
know what? If we can let the word out that they're up there, people will use them. Because, there's older people that can't sit down in a garden.
Yeah, so I want the word to get out. I want to get a picture from, whatever the park board, American Legion, and the 4-H, mainly the 4-H people, kids who build them for the city, so a little recognition.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's say put them wherever DC fit over there, where the
Well, the only problem I have is that's gonna have to mow under them or weed under them, so it's, or you're gonna spray Roundup under them. You know, I don't know, Chris can have to do with that, unless you wanna make some cement or gravel, or make something with the gravel.
Well, you know what? As long as they're ready to go, I think we should also be ready to get them planted. And we'll worry about what has to go on underneath later. Yeah.
I think where we want to set them out, we'll get them,
And it's up there on that side of the playground, right?
correct, yeah.
On that side of the playground.
Are we good then?
No, I was thinking that.
Well, I think I was probably going to be on fire.
Yeah.
and put them in there someplace?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah.
Wherever you can invest in that kind of corner area or easy access in the road for.
Yep, and in the front, wherever the front is. All right, and the water, is there water up there, or is that?
Yeah, we've got water.
Yeah, okay. I think we've done, yeah. Yes, sir.
All right, I'll haul them up there myself, or you want me to deal with Chris?
Yeah, and we've got a new,
We've got a dump trailer.
we've got a dump trailer that we can put them on, so don't you give yourself what you can't do that, because we have the stuff,
Okay. So, yeah, so the suggestion is if you wanna make some more, I wanna make some more. And if they want bigger, heavier duty or whatever, just let us know.
Okay.
Or they're not gonna work out. There they are, there's gonna be two more, the long ones.
They're the ones that are just sitting right up.
Yep,
Okay.
yep, I told them to set them out there so everybody could see them.
Yep.
And then somebody's gonna have to get the word out, hopefully.
Well,
We'll do something.
I was thinking about that, and you know what I think we could do is ask the churches to put it in their bulletin, because that's where the older people go, and I think the older people would like to have a high garden.
That's what it's made for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not for like young kids and families, it's for the people who need it.
Yeah. And you know what? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service and what you do.
Any other questions on the region?
No closer to the, get the name for it?
No. There's the workshop, yeah. For the school or for what?
For that school where that baseball club down in my village.
I don't know.
Softball field.
What's that?
I don't know, is it a softball field?
The softball,
It's a dual purpose, yeah.
it's a dual purpose. It's softball now, but it turns to baseball.
And soccer too.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yep.
No, good, guys, really good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You know what? You can call me if you need some help.
You were talking earlier about blind spots.
Yeah, do you want, the credit card.
Well, if you need an hour, if you need to look at this figure out, but I was just, you just said you want my card, if I want to know if that's what you meant.
Yeah. Why don't you take this card with you? Are you gonna buy this stuff to decorate? Here, you take it. And I just saved the slips to give them to. Oh, okay. You can give me that back in now.
Is there a pin for this?
There's no, there's a credit card, and there's no PIN needed to add one, just click the cancel.
Oh, okay.
You know, I don't know where you're shopping at, by Costco, there's just a cancel button, and, everything else you can just,
You just run it as a credit.
Credit.
Yeah, okay.
Just like he's not somewhere and then.
Yeah.
And then he's looking like,
your card?
Well, it's just cardboard, so, you know, it doesn't look like it's shady type.
Those are the ones that look up.
Yeah, right. So is it back up to 11, 12, 13 then? Yep. Okay. Moving forward.
pool gutters, I got a bid from Darren Munster, $1,850.
That's way cheaper than the other guy, isn't it?
If we accept it tonight, it could be done next week, because the people that he uses are coming to do another house in town next week.
Oh, nice.
So,
Oh, it's probably our same guy. It's not.
something else.
It's cheaper than what we were offered, right?
Yep.
Okay.
He's been working for us before, hasn't he?
Darren, yeah, he's going into the roof. I mean, he doesn't do the gutters, but he has a
Correct.
company that comes in and does it.
Okay, let's go with it.
Okay.
And who, is Darren's gonna do
I'm
it?
gonna make a motion for that.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
I'll get a hold of him and let him know then.
And you'll do it next week?
Hopefully, yep.
Well, you know, that'll be nice because when the rain hits is when it's a problem. And it's the rain season. Yeah.
Or if it's not raining when they're gonna come do it.
The electrical bid?
Okay.
Chris and
Sounds good. Jack sent me the quote from Weber to go through the electrical over there. Looks like $1,000. Trace out circuits, label panel more accurately, produce a diagram, inspect panels, and starter for internal corrosion. That's just, to do all that, obviously if you find something, you're gonna have to come back to us. But
Yeah,
we need it because it's, nothing is labeled in there. No,
I'll make a motion to have them do it.
Does that include, like, replacing as needed, or is that just,
That's just to go through it,
okay,
to label everything, check to see if stuff does need to be,
and go from
and
there?
then if stuff does, then obviously it'll probably give us a quote on what it's gonna cost to fix X, Y, and Z.
Doing that, just, obviously, a motion for 1,000, but then I kind of leave that higher end, so we can just, work up to, 2,000 if needed, or?
Probably basically just tell him,
Go-
go through and do that, and then let us know.
Okay.
It's gonna take some, there's gotta be some things fixed.
He said, and then says the price will give 2 people half a day to go through and
Okay.
do all that. He'll make a diagram of everything and label the panel better.
Sounds good.
Now you can make your motion, Judy.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we accept the bid from,
Weber?
from Weber.
I'll accept, or second that.
Okay.
I'm all for it.
Number 14, was that part of the,
What
No,
about the
no,
pool
no,
plumbing?
okay.
No, we're gonna talk about that right now.
Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped that, I'm correcting myself down here.
When I got the water turned on last week, there was no actual, physical water leaks from any of the plumbing, but there's a valve on the older mixing valve, it's an old gate valve leaking. I can fix it myself, if I have a valve for it, I'll do it. But in the boys' bathroom, where the sink is and then where there used to was a sink, I don't know if the drain is plugged, but then where the plumbing is for where the sink used to be, because there was 2 at one time.
Yeah,
Something's broke there, and then I'm pretty sure the drain is plugged, because when I run water in that sink just to make sure everything was working, it started running out the bottom side of a pipe. So I don't know if that's been broke, and just with the key wide up there for 2 sinks, with that pipe being plugged, it's pushing it out the other one, and that pipe is broke. So I don't know if we need to get a plumber in there to snake that drain, to just see if we can get it unclogged, then we're probably not gonna have an issue, or we just have to have a plumber come in and fix that little bit of plumbing right there.
we had a really good plumber last year. Remember the people that,
No, was it Northern
No.
Plains that came and did the
yeah,
other stuff?
Northern Plains, yeah.
They did the
Northern
bathroom.
refused to,
Oh, yeah, they didn't, yeah,
And
that's it.
I was down at the Riverside Park on Monday, the first graders were on a field trip. I went down and had lunch with Bristol. I told Chris about it, 'cause I had to go work at his house, so I told him there's the automatic for the sink. It's not working, and then it's leaking some water on the floor. I don't know if he's gonna look at it yet, I haven't talked to him. So I told him to look at that.
but I would have, who was that?
Northern Plains.
Northern Plains, yeah. Why don't we have Northern Plains?
So, yeah, so does that mean, okay, so,
I have videos of it.
oh, okay. Cause like, in the office, there's always been somewhat of a leak to where the floor in the office gets wet, like it's keeping up from under the ground.
Like where
And
at,
it's been an issue we've dealt with.
where at it, like along the bathroom?
Yeah, like if you're on the boys' side,
the
and then
boys'
if you look in the office, the floor is just gravel bed. It's not concrete in that spot because there's been so many leaks. And they've dug down. I think Chris even did actually look
Chris
at
did.
it. Yep, that's the area,
So,
so
like-
this goes like into the office there,
Yeah,
and yep,
so maybe it's just.
that's
Well,
the
So does it
ongoing.
keep out of the dirt, or it says that the water runs to the dirt?
So then
I don't think we've ever had it like running, like on the floor. It's more been like it's almost like seeping up from underneath
into the dirt.
So it could be a separate issue, I don't know. But there's always been something wrong in that area.
Well, it could all be fun.
It's, I mean, yeah, I don't know if it's all related or not, so.
I have a little snake that I could maybe run down it. I'm not much of a plumber, but I could try it. See if I can.
I got some dye I work on right home. I'm just gonna dye in the drain and see where it comes out. If it comes out, hopefully not, but.
Yeah.
And the hand thing, this is not working? No, there's batteries underneath.
Yeah, that's
But it
what
wasn't.
I don't know. I
Oh,
haven't
okay.
checked that yet.
Oh, okay.
Where it connects to that, it was leaking some water right there.
Sure.
And then I don't know if the automatic flusher for the toilet wasn't working either in the men's side, boys' side, because all the kids that were down there were like, the toilet's not flushing, please. So I go in there and I push the button, I'm like, push the button, and it'll flush. And then the sink wasn't working, so.
I'll just go ahead and start calling Northern Plains then, to minimum.
Well, I'll try to do,
Okay.
fix a few issues that I think I can fix myself. I'll try to get a snake down there and see if I can get it unclogged, and then we'll go from there. If I have to call Northern Plains or call someone, then we will.
Alright. Moving on to number 14, I suppose, no, I'm going over.
So, I don't consider myself a builder, but it was brought to my attention that that building that got built down there, the stage area, because we're gonna end up insuring it, I'm sure, because it's on our property. I didn't see Mike at his office, because Mike Nelson is our insurance guy, right? Someone should probably look at it. Because if we're gonna insure something that, I mean,
What's wrong?
it's just, there's nothing, it's not connected to anything.
That's,
Yeah, I mean, if we get a really, really bad windstorm, I don't want our insurance to have to cover.
You have to come in and do an inspection of it before, like, and nobody wants it.
I want to.
It's not supposed to be cement?
No, it's just the framing.
So they're trying to, like, when instead of having it like angled so that it comes, like, it's just like, for the board to come in and then they just drive like nails or screws through.
Yeah.
Well, that was,
I
I
don't,
will tell you that was a construction firm out of Minot that,
no, not that.
oh,
They did the metal structure for the
Okay.
picnic area.
oh yeah, that's right, yep, okay.
I mean, I'm not a builder, but I wouldn't want that.
No, there's no part of that that I would,
Did Vanderwall do it?
that's who I was told.
That's what I thought I saw him and his wife there.
That's the roof.
We're gonna sign on it?
I have no idea.
It's dramatic, something.
I mean, like, none of these roof trusses or,
I'm kind of surprised that none of those guys are over there constantly. I wouldn't,
Well,
none of them would have noticed any of that. And that's the way it looks right now.
these pictures, I think, too big. I mean, yeah, I went over that. Because, I mean, something happens and that roof blows off,
Yeah.
hits the house behind, hits Meadowbridge building,
Yeah.
who's gonna cover it? Well, it's gonna be under our insurance.
Yeah, we can't have a building,
So,
I mean,
I don't know who we have to, I don't know if
Call
we
it
have,
a third party.
have
inspector.
Mike, you know, the insurance guy come over and look at it, be like, oh, yeah, no, we can't insure that, and then obviously we probably have to go to Region, and like,
Can you fix it?
whoever did this,
you know what,
needs to
the
come back
Legion
and-
would never want things done not right. I'm just telling
Well,
you.
that's why, like I said, I'm surprised as much as Terry and some of those guys have been over there. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
You know, Terry has a very, very sick wife, the
yeah.
diagnosed with
But I mean, I
ALS.
see him over there all the time.
He was over there today. He wasn't there when I went and looked, but,
You mentioned when Daryl was here, because that's on the same thing. It was-
well, I just,
No,
I don't wanna step
we-
on too
no,
many
we
toes
don't.
and make them mad, but also,
Yeah, because there's gonna be.
if we're insuring it because it's on our property,
We can do the third party inspector right here. to look at it, kind of some recommendations on how you would change it.
If they decide to cover it up somehow.
Another better tool.
Where do we get that?
You can call it construction agency, or, there's quite a few, inspectors. With the state.
I will meet the person if you would make the arrangement.
With the wire, we
See what, but I would be, because I'm here.
that's the end of the board, so it's like almost split out more than.
Is it considered complete?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Too free.
It's definitely not good.
And like there's no caulking for that LP siding, there's no caulking around the doors. That siding, you're supposed to caulk all of it, and then there's so many gaps, like,
Well,
Our house is done, and our house had matching caulk strips.
that's they caulked around some of the stuff, but it's like,
I mean,
I don't want a bunch of moisture getting in behind, and then the
rotten
structure
up.
just goes to crap in a few years.
It was good with, look at it first, and then, if not, maybe a third party, construction inspector, because they'll know that off the bat, and then they'll be able to.
Well, I was gonna talk to a friend that does framing stuff.
Would you email those pictures to me,
Yeah,
or text them to me?
Yeah, I think if they decide to finish off and have a roof.
Yeah, exactly, we've got to do it now.
There's one where the board's not even touching anything, you can see the screw in between the two boards.
Ooh. That's super real, and
And it's part of the roofing.
that's crazy.
Like I said, I'm no professional builder or anything, but
You wanna bring it, in front of
to
the,
me, that just doesn't look right.
you wanna bring it in front of the Legion, it's gonna have a meeting or something, or? Before we go with
Yeah,
that?
I'll maybe see if I can get Mike over there, and
Okay.
he can probably look at it.
If not, we can say one of them meetings we have, the monthly meeting, if not, or call your assistant, your friend, see his thoughts are on it. That's crazy, that's, a little much.
You know what,
I mean, for as much money as the Legion has spent on building all that to make it nice.
July 18th, they'll be using it, so,
July 18th?
yeah, they have a.
rain band or somebody's coming first, yeah.
Well,
I hope we can use it for some fundraising for us, you know.
June 14th, is it 15 now? Okay. Any meetings updates?
Chris isn't here, but I mean, I kinda covered a little bit of it.
Rockwell.
Rockwell, yeah, I'll take a look at that.
The Legion made us those boxes, we gotta get those set in place so that people can use them.
Chris, I mean, it's gonna help him too.
I think it'd be nice to get that whole garden thing back up and going, because it's been, at least, what, 2 years? That we've been doing it? Yeah, so it's good if we can do it.
We didn't get it, we were kicked out, then we didn't have a garden, and then we have a garden spot, but it never got turned because we had to get the water, and it's just been,
Yeah, because I know Chris said that he did some pressure washing, and I never once physically looked at it yet, but I know he's been working on draining the pool, and then got it so far, and then once I got the water turned on, that he could spray it all down and be pumping it out at the same time. I never did go over there, I guess, to see how much. They told me that he had pressure washed some of it.
and the baseball, softball field is still no name.
The 16, yeah, as of right now, so I'll touch base with them pretty soon. I know they want to set it, but they want to set it, but. Okay, we'll look next time too. Yeah. Alright, moving number 17.
Did anybody tell Mr. Harvey to come?
No, I have all their stuff.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, I have to have quite a bit of stuff there. Alright, I'm gonna try to, go ahead and cover, I guess, I think my portfolio on that portion, the baseball portion of it. For the baseball portion of it, Josh Harmon's got, 4 assistant coaches and Bodie Winters,
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Isaiah Akio, McKay Bauman, Calvin Wagner. As of right now, for Marley's side, the softball side, she's gonna have Katie Cole's gonna help out, Kaya's gonna help out, and she's still looking for at least 1 or 2 more, and she may be falling, I guess, on Kaya's father, maybe she can help out as far as coaching wise, which I guess moves a little bit back to the next thing. Registrations, they close tomorrow. As of right now, we're sitting at about 115 total players that are registered. It's the T-ball from last year to this year has kind of gone down a little bit, but they had a big class the previous year, so everybody's moving up to rookie style, so we're going to have a couple teams based on that portion of it. All the information as of right now, I'll be sending that out to the jerseys tonight, and so we're going to have 1 or 2 straggles in as it closes by noon tomorrow. Couple players I'm still waiting on. Early schedule notes, first practice for the boys, for both boys and girls starts on June 2nd. Everything with Josh and Marley I started using an app called SportsU, so it's going to instead of using a reminder from the teacher, and they can go to that. They can kind of get more information set out so they have them being brief on things. The equipment side, softball is good for the year. I work more lineup books, which will be coming through your report sale pretty soon. There's some lineup stuff, some more dimple balls, things that become small item stuff. Again, I'm waiting on the measurements from Marley to get a freezer order so we can get that to help her with second stand. That being said, we're going to be stocking concession stand the week after school gets out, so we start getting that portion of it going. So I'll probably get her as far as using a credit card or going that direction. I'll need somebody to sell the signature on the bank to get about $200 cash out. So we can start having a cash bag going again. There's some back order right now on paint for striping, but I'll be getting that here real shortly. And maybe some more packed clay conditioner for the circle that's kind of eroding out.
Back to your cast thing, can't you just,
I can need 2 people to go with
you can't,
oh, what do you mean for
is this a cast? You can't just go in?
no, I think 2 signatures.
Okay.
So
So it's gotta be people that are on the account, I guess.
correct, yeah. So when
Well, I'll go in and sign and the pool needs money too.
okay.
So how much money do you start out with?
I think only 100.
Okay. And do you know what Marley wanted?
She received the same thing as last year was $200
Okay.
for the change bed, the concession bed,
Okay.
and we have to do a little bit of work on the pitching area, which is what's that? Sir?
Sorry.
Oh,
Is it the cash box? I think that's
No, I don't think I have a cash box. I have a bag, but I don't.
I think that,
Could you look
I think the
into
box is still in there, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
moving on, our camp that we kind of put together for the American Legion, that closes tomorrow as far as signing wise. The baseball side has been all spots been filled. So I'm pretty proud of that. Softball side, we still have, I think it was 7 remaining spots, which is kind of expected not when had a team that turnout. But we're gonna one of the coaches that will bring one of a previous professional player in to do that. And that being said, I'm sending the not jerseys, but it's kind of camps, and Diane will be able to get those done for us. And so I don't know. I've only dealt with China in the past for jersey soccer. I think they're doing kind of cash out. I don't know how that works because I don't think it's really a company or is it just something you've been doing as a hobby?
Well, usually if you would do it directly to her, she's gonna have to get it, if she's doing it as a hobby. Probably.
Okay.
And is Cheyenne making the search, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, she is for the camp.
Okay.
And when it moves forward to the other portion, it's one of the company to bring a few of us. But yeah, I didn't think that too much as far in the future, but as far as paying her, I don't want to give her like a serious cash for this. I mean,
We do it like a check.
okay,
And if you just provide you like an invoice for,
okay.
that, then it's a check.
And if you call him, he'll have the check ready for you and you can just give it. But she needs to have an invoice of some sort.
Yeah.
That being said, moving on to the camp itself, we're going to have a new this year's coaches to go down and help out during the Christmas camp, kind of get some better ideas. But it's also kind of dependent on if, the rugby softball or the softball state and, the boys baseball make it to Fargo or state or however that works playoffs for the playoffs. Again, uniforms will all be sent over to the season for season. We're getting the new design. Patch and, Liza are getting made this year as well. Leader News has called me previously about getting, in the years past, we had a booklet that kind of went out through the mail that was paid by the sponsors, and that had everybody's like a picture and a name, you know, within the booklet. Remember that?
Yep.
And they're going to be doing that this year, so I'm kind of coordinating with Lynette. We'll be doing our photos, and from there we'll be coordinating with the Leader News as far as dealing with that personnel. So things to look forward to the next, I don't know, a month or so. And other than that, I am down with the director's report.
I have a question for
Yes,
you as well. So the boys are practicing
The boys are in the back,
school,
the TV is the high school field, and the girls they like to be down here at the softball field.
so but the boys, they're not on the varsity, like the school baseball field.
They are.
They are.
They are.
Oh, okay, I was under the impression they were on that old, like,
No.
softball field, and I was like,
No, I had talked to
Jacobson.
yes, and I clarified a few times, make sure we were on understand that, you know, this field, I won't pose any problems with that plant if it conflicts anybody.
Oh,
So, yeah,
okay.
we'll be using that field.
Okay, because I know that top field is like gravel and
Yeah.
just quality and, well, and I know that there was talk of getting it redone.
Yeah.
I had
And I
asked
think
him
that
about
happened.
But, yeah, he had said that the people they found to do it weren't able to get here until
Yeah.
later,
Later.
so, okay.
Then to ask you a question to you, how do we go about the first mercy campaign for that portion of it? They said they're gonna sponsor the camp going on. When do we see, when will that be paid out? They already have on that?
Yeah, all that for the baseball program already been.
That's all been, okay,
He
perfect.
takes this money for the kids.
For the pool.
You know what, and I always write them a letter, so I will write a letter, and when I write the letter, I just said, you know, it's been such a successful program, and I wrote a letter every year, but I did not write one this year. Well, to the region.
Oh,
Okay, good question. It'll be on the high school.
Which reminds me that we're probably going to figure out specific on wages that
Wages, yeah.
Okay.
We have to have another meeting. We, you know, this is our busy, and we just,
Time to shine, huh?
hmm?
Time to shine.
Yeah.
As far as that, that's all I have in mind, but I guess maybe I'll write down real fast. Is this for the baseball wages then, I'm assuming something else, or is it in general for?
Well, it's gonna be like, we have a pretty set way that we were doing it.
Correct.
Except for, I don't know if there was anything that was going, if there was gonna be like we did this stuff for the baseball and softball directors, but if there was gonna be like a sub-person where they're gonna be at, those things like that.
What do you mean, I'm sorry,
So like Marley's not gonna be able to do this over there. So you're gonna have to have somebody who's gonna step in, so you're just gonna pay them like what everybody else is getting, or are they gonna get paid?
I don't know about that. Good question.
He said instant.
Oh, no, it's a-
Must be too long.
Yeah, I don't know about that, that's a good one, question, I'll have to talk to Marley about, obviously, there isn't the timeline, or she's gonna be calling her quits, or at least
And
I
they're
don't know
gonna have
if
to fill in for her. So, you know, like I said, that's, you know, just things like that, get figured out before.
let me reconnect to deal with her on that portion of it, and then maybe if we do a kind of special meeting after talking about, I can bring it to the table and go from there.
and then otherwise, the, raise of 50 cents, is that still what it is?
I believe so, unless it's different per state,
With that,
unless it's any different per state coming back, I don't know. There's anything for as long as part of the like part of it.
well, he was last year, so we already had a raise for that last year, so I think it would just be 50 cents, like everybody else.
And so we give everybody 50 cents more.
Just coming back, yeah.
That's
And
coming
then all
back,
the rest of them would be the 15, except for the office people who are 12.
yeah. Right.
Well, I guess my portion is done. I guess number 18, porta potties.
I did it.
We're good to go on those?
Yeah, I got, the only place I didn't put a porta potty was at Hidden Park because they just knocked it over.
Yeah.
So I said none in Hidden Park, but I got one at the new park and 2 at the baseball field. And the guy is really waiting for baseball to be, let's see, there's 2 at the football field. And they'll be taking those when school is out, and then he'll put those at the baseball field. So it's a few days.
So we're taking from one to bring to the other. We're not ready to. Okay.
And I also had ordered one, Marley had a group that was, the girls were doing a run, and we didn't have the water on at the park, and we've done this every year, so it wasn't like anything special, but I did order, a toilet there, because when the girls came in from their run, that's where the run ended.
Mm-hmm.
And it was too cold for Chris to start the water, and so, Marty said, boy, it really would be nice if we had a toilet. And I said, well, let me call Chris. So I called Chris and I said, Chris, can we get water at the ballpark? And he said, you're not in the bathroom, so it isn't warm enough at night. I said, okay. And I said, oh, sorry, do you want a porta potty? He said, you can get a porta potty? I went, yeah. And we had always had one there, so I just went ahead and ordered it.
Alrighty, number 19, park board duties.
I'm not sure what Jeff wanted with that.
Okay.
Table that.
Table that too. Any portfolio reports or any updates?
I don't even know what mine, if mine is fundraising, I've got, I also have a very nice list of where we can ask, because, places that I wouldn't have thought about.
Yeah.
And I think we need to have a committee going out and asking,
Yeah.
you know, long before we worry about what we're gonna borrow, because you know how much interest is now? It's it's
Now you
very,
said it.
it's well, of course, I do
Yeah,
want
we
to
got
see a
all
lot of
online,
it.
right?
Yeah, this is not the time to go into a large loan,
No, you don't, and,
especially when you don't know where the money's coming from.
Story of it, yeah. Okay.
I don't know if we can even do a big one. Right?
Tony was gonna have stuff for us for our committee meeting that we are
Okay.
having tomorrow.
Yeah.
Good ideas and,
Well, we got nothing else, and motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.